what even was that ending? Here we are, Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 3, On the Wings of Keeradaks. And I know this is a little late, but I just got back from vacation. You'd never be able to tell. I am obviously still the palest person ever. But on to the episode. This episode takes us back to the Bad Batch yet again, another week of them. Again, they're kind of more subdued and in the background. It's more about Rex and his friend that they rescued and are actively trying to help escape because he's a prisoner of war, and they're trying to, escape this base and everything like that, without totally getting themselves completely wrecked. And one thing about their friend, I'm still leaving the name anonymous because, I want some of you to enjoy this and enjoy this surprise, especially if you haven't seen those episodes from long ago, the unfinished released episodes from a while ago. They're definitely worth checking out. I'd watch them after these episodes, though, just to see what changed and what was different, because you don't want to be spoiled altogether, because a lot has been kept the same. One thing that I really liked about this episode was that it really does sort of feel like Die Hard, like they're escaping and they're trying to take down these many levels of this big base or whatever. And, Anakin is super involved with it, and Rex, and it's just kind of, utilizing their friend, who again is anonymous, using his newfound skills that he's had, and that he's basically a supercomputer in his head. As freaky looking as he is now, he can know the entire base, and it's just kind of a series of action. And the Bad Batch, they're very gung-ho to get themselves into some danger, but they also get themselves out of danger very quickly. Each of them really does offer something to the table, although Wrecker and Tech are the ones that get the most screen time because they are the most useful. The smart one and the big brawny one. The sharpshooter, he doesn't really get as much. And then, Hunter is just kind of really good at hunting. So get him some camo and, he'll fit right in with everybody else. I think that the one thing about this episode that was interesting was that it really doesn't touch too much on plot and everything. It's very much like a big action sequence after action sequence, and you do feel for this character that has been a prisoner this whole time because he's missed so much. And one thing is that it does briefly touch on this concept of how the Republic, even though they are the good guys, even though it's a little complicated because Palpatine is playing both sides of the field, how they are just as guilty about bringing war to innocent people as the Separatists are, or as the Trade Federation is. And both of these groups, the thing about Star Wars and the thing, without getting too political about it, is that they're both groups are being shepherded and spearheaded by one evil man, and two if you count Dooku. Everybody in the whole galaxy is being fooled into thinking that this is a war that's fighting the good fight, and nobody's fighting the good fight here. But the thing that is interesting is that the ones who you perceive as the good guys, sometimes they do make a nasty effect, and I think that is something that reflects in our own history, whether it be as Americans, whether you're from Europe, something. There's some dark pasts that go beneath the layers of success in war, and it's kind of, tied with the knot a little bit. They make this really cool plan that ends up, getting them all safe and sound from the wimpiest looking droids ever. I thought the Roger Rogers were bad. These guys look like little grasshoppers. The grasshopper specifically from A Bug's Life, which, yes, Pixar movie-wise is one that a lot of people try to forget. Not me. I'm a fan of Shakespearean bugs. But these guys are so wimpy, and they don't even have, the fun Roger Rogers stuff that this show loves to make fun of. So I thought it was an interesting choice to have, these creepy crawly dudes meandering about instead of the ones that we came to love. But they're a little more formidable. These guys can fly, just like grasshoppers. So I thought that was interesting. The way that they fight them is funny. The thing that's really big about this episode is two things. One, they cut some stuff from the unreleased, unfinished episode, and a lot of people are calling that censorship, which I think is misusing the term censorship, considering the people that made this decision and actively chose to remove some more violent, gruesome scenes from the previously uncut episode and putting it and not including it in this. Those are the same people that worked on those two episodes. So this was a choice that was actively made maybe it was pushed by Disney execs. I don't know, but we do have some stuff that's more violent on Disney Plus than what was supposed to be included that wasn't. I mean, hey, go watch those episodes if you really want to see that. I don't know. It's not anything too bad. I don't know if I would call it censorship, or more along the lines that they were probably just trying to meet their time quota. So, I don't know. But the other big thing about this episode is the ending. The ending, it's a little ambiguous. It leaves you thinking, they're like, everything's okay. But is it? And there's something about that. Like, you don't really know where it's going. It's said in just enough, it's hinted with just enough, like, vibrato and tone that makes you unsettled. Like, at first you're like, oh, nice, yeah, okay. And then you're like, wait, was that something? I'm not sure. It makes you second guess yourself. And it's like, oh, God, this is probably going to be that wrench, that caveat that Clone Wars loves to throw at us to remind us that no one is safe. The only people we know that are safe at this point are like Ahsoka and Rex, as far as like original characters to this show goes. Everybody else is pretty much doomed. So, yeah. But I'm excited for the next episode, of course. Anyway, guys, make the Force be with you. Have a great day.